Welcome to our very first film club and hopefully the start to many. Whilst today's session is pre-recorded and some of our future sessions will be as well, we will soon announce some live sessions soon, so do stay tuned. But enough of that, let's get into it. Ava DuVernay won the Directing Award for the 2012 Sundance Film Festival for her second feature film, Middle of Nowhere. She became the first black woman to win the award, but it was the short film that she made in collaboration with black-owned cosmetics and skincare brand Fashion Fair that I decided to talk about today. Reason being? I personally think that short films still haven't entered the same cinematic sphere that feature films and documentaries have done, but more so, fashion films are still on the periphery of cinema. It's an area which I've personally explored over the past few years, and whilst both short films and fashion films are gaining far more recognition, I think that they still sit within advertising spaces and within a lot of filmmaking specific articles. Now, seen as though here at FAC we're all about breaking down the barriers, blurring the lines, celebrating the underrepresented, and highlighting and frankly not giving a fuck about what everyone else is doing, and celebrating the uniqueness of everything and everyone, FAC's first film club is starting here, with Ava DuVernay's Say Yes. This film explores the power of the affirmative and the beauty that blossoms from embracing life and what happens when you welcome the unexpected. This collaboration with Fashion Fair might make you look at this as an advertising campaign, and in part it is, but I'm not here to talk about that. Let's appreciate this film for what it is, a piece of cinema, a narrative, a plot. So I decided to speak to FAC's editorial director and FAC's designer to get their thoughts on this film.
Didn't it?
The lens flares, the colour.
Literally, they went in on the lens flares. I was like, oh, this is nice. And that's like 5 minutes in, I was like, they really like that filter, don't they?
Yeah, there was like a lot more of that than I expected, I guess, from the first time I watched it. And I actually had forgotten that it was so visual. And I don't know if that's like a compensation thing, because there is a narrative but there's no dialogue, so it's like, do we just make this visual? But it is just pretty.
I think I need to take the year, because it was quite a while ago, wasn't it? And I feel like you can tell that it's aged, so like I'd go back and watch something like current and see like if it differs to anything that she did in the past, like this one. But you couldn't really tell it was for a beauty brand. There was lots of like lips, and like I understand it was like a lipstick brand, and like there was lots of lips, but like watching that you wouldn't know it was for beauty brand whatsoever.
No.
Like you wouldn't make that connection, because it's kind of a bit like floaty and, like you said, like very positive, and just, you know, it just makes you feel a bit warm and nice, but it's not really linked to
I tell you what you should watch, and this goes to anyone who's maybe a bit dubious just by what you've seen in this film, if you want to know more of her work, and that's a film that actually came just before this, and that was The Door. It's the film that she made for Miu Miu, the sister brand to Prada. It's very different. It's, I think, a lot stronger, and for me personally it's very interesting to see the transition of The Door to Say Yes.
In 73, like anyway in the first years of like the 1970s, but
definitely the early 70s, yeah.
But because it was considered like the largest black-owned cosmetic company on the planet, so they were like the biggest black-owned beauty company like on the planet, and then, as a lot of times happen, you know, especially beauty, for whatever reason that I really don't know, they just disappear. Sometimes it's just whatever, like one day are there, next day are gone. So people forgot for a long time. So I found it like very interesting that like to kind of come back in the industry, they chose like a film to do that.
Yeah, I mean,
in 8 minutes, first of all, they managed to pack a lot of things. It is like a proper story, you know, told. And it's funny because the first 5 minutes, you basically see her going around a different type of people. So you don't know really exactly what is going on. Like, I have this bad habit that I'm going to read plots before watching movies. And I think you should never do that, because you lose like the kind of surprising of what is going on. But I have this really bad habit that I just read before watching. So I already knew what was going on, and that's bad. But if you come there from absolute not reading anything or something, you spend the last 4 minutes understand what is going on. Like, she's going into her house, seeing this very different group of people, and you kind of like don't get the full thing until you actually watch the whole 8 minutes.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting how they managed to put different style together, but they actually really, work, like aesthetically wise. Like, first of all, like the clothes and the beauty is like really good.
Yeah.
But I think like I love the moment where the guy like closed his eyes and there was like these folks like tattooed like on his eyelid.
That's brilliant, isn't it? I thought you'd pick up on that from a beauty point.
It was like super cool. And then like even the like the next, like I think it was like 20 seconds or something, when all the tattooed like people are showed, and
good film. I felt really happy. You just
watch a very cute like thing.
Just watch it and I'm like, oh, that's so cute. And there is a story there. Again, another thing I was saying with Katie is that I wanted dialogue. I really, really wanted dialogue. I wanted, and I liked Katie's idea of Katie just wanted her to say yes in dialogue, and that be the only word that came in the film.
Yeah, I think the only word that could have actually be good in the movie was going to be yes.
Yeah. I would have loved that.
And in the sense, because the entire, like kind of feel to the film is that like this affirmation and appreciation kind of like vibe from everybody, is like a warmth and stuff. I think like just yes would have been, great. But I think the movie, like, it didn't really need words, because like it kind of like, it gets to, again, my favorite part is definitely in the first 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Like when you just like see her going, from what the hell is going on in my house to like, oh my God, that's so cool. Like, and she was, greeting everybody and like getting to, like hug everybody and stuff. And also I think like, for me, so I know it's weird, but because of the time that we're living, it always gets me a little bit, oh, people are hugging, it's like, people are like so close to each other. And it's weird because there's only been like, what, a year and a half?
I suppose we are now talking about this in kind of, I suppose, the back end of COVID. We've not been able to be in a house with that many people. I've only been 6.
I just think like, I don't know, like my mind feels so weirded out when I see people hugging. I'm like, why are they doing it? Like, are they crazy? And that it's like bad.
Shouting at the screen.
It's like that. And I'm like, oh my God, there's like 150 people in the same house, like hugging each other and laughing and not caring. And that sometimes make me in a really good mood. Like, weirdly enough, was not the love part, was like the community part, because it kind of made me in a good mood. Oh man, like we are going to go back at some point, like to enjoy being outside with people.
That's the thing. I feel like the proposal in that film is like secondary to, or maybe it's just because we're viewing it from a COVID point of view, but I feel like you like the hugging, the seeing of people that as a community. The proposal is lovely. She said yes, great.
Yeah, that's cute.
I want to see everyone else.
It's like, it's cute, and it's like, it makes sense for like the story and everything. But I think that the first 4 minutes, it's kind of like an injection of really good vibes, because you kind of like feel this warm hug.
Yeah.
And then, like, you see these so many people that, by the way, have different interests and like different personalities going on and stuff, but you just see them all together with not caring about anything else, and then like it kind of like gives you an injection, like good vibes and normality in a way.
Yeah, we need that.
Oh, that feels so nice, like to see people hugging and just laughing at each other with a glass of wine or whatever it is. So I think like those 4 minutes for me was actually the good mood part.
I like that. Yeah, I mean, it's lovely because the fashion is by Juro Oluwu. And if actually watch his interview with Iris Apfel at London Zoo. that's also from the same year that this film was made. There's absolutely no connection. That if you just want another few minutes of feel good, head over to YouTube, watch his little interview of walking around the animals and hearing Iris Apfel talk about tigers. It's just lovely. I think that's what we need now. We need lovely things to watch. And I think this was a good film to start with. I could have gone in really heavy. I could have gone in with a huge feature film. But the days have been a bit miserable. Let's go with something light.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think it's very important, to take a stand and obviously, to fight for the right battles and everything. And I am all up for it. Sometimes you just need something like that puts you in a good mood. It's like fashion can also be, it's definitely a political, weapon, basically, to do a lot of things. But it's also escapism, like it's just fun. And I think, like, recently especially, we have made a conscious choice of being ashamed of being happy, in the sense that it also, I don't know if it happens to you, but it happens to me several times, that you feel guilty to be in a good mood.
Yeah.
It's like a very weird feeling, but when I find myself, laughing at a stupid thing, like, oh my God, like, I really want to do shopping. And then I'm like, oh, but like, there is a lot of things going on. Like, what is that my thinking,
It's almost the way we consume media now. I mean, you pop on Twitter, you pop on anything, and the news that comes up, even on TikTok, the videos that people show on YouTube, on anything, we are saturated with so much news, which I think is incredible that we can see what's happening in other places in the world. Equally, we still have the right in our own lives to have those moments of happiness.
Yeah, I don't know, it feels like we are constantly required to be on edge and like ready to fight for everything,